No justice!
No peace!
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 What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 no cops, no KKK, no fascist USA,
No cops! No KKK! No fascist USA! No cops! No KKK! No fascist USA!
no cops,
No KKK! No fascist USA!
no cops,
No KKK! No fascist USA!
no cops,
No KKK! No fascist USA!
no cops.
No KKK! No fascist USA!
So what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 if we don't get it.
Shut it down!
All right, y'all. We're here today because we have seen a terrible verdict of justice, or rather lack of justice. Kyle Rittenhouse, who took an AR-15 and traveled from Antioch, Illinois to Kenosha in the wake of the shooting of Jacob Blake, who was viciously shot by Kenosha Police Department. He took that AR-15 to Kenosha with the intent to kill. That ain't right. And you know what happened when he got there? He killed. But not only did he kill, he was greeted by cops. He was patted on the back by cops. Him and his gang of criminal thugs of far-right fascists were greeted and cheered and deputized by the Kenosha Police Department. That ain't right.
That ain't right!
What we saw today is a miscarriage of justice. And we are here to fight. We are here to make demands. And we are here to say that we will not back down. We will not be intimidated. That no far-right entity, no far-right organization, no racist capitalist system is going to stop us from coming to these streets, fighting for economic justice, fighting for racial justice, fighting for social justice. We got a bunch of speakers lined up for tonight. So let me start off by introducing Dave Powers from the Party for Socialism and Liberation. The people united will never be defeated. 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 No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice,
No peace!
no justice.
No peace!
So what do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 I said if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it.
Shut it down!
Thank you. My name is Dave Power. I'm here with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. And today we are gathered in protest of an unjust verdict which allowed an extremist vigilante to walk free despite murdering Anthony Hoover and Joseph Rosenbaum. Now Anthony and Joseph were protesting an injustice that day too. They are part of the resistance to the racist shooting of Jacob Blake, who was shot 7 times in the back, and they joined in as victims of white supremacist fascist violence. Now, while tonight is a time of resistance, it is also a time of mourning. So before I continue, I would like us to take a moment of silence for Anthony Hoover and Joseph Rosenbaum.
Now, Anthony and Joseph did not need to die that night, but the struggle for Jacob Blake must continue. Racist, fascist violence is not limited to Jacob Blake or Anthony Hoover or Joseph Rosenbaum. They are but one chapter in an entire history of fascist violence in the United States, of racist violence in the United States. And in order to combat this system, we must bring them justice. 7 shots in Kenosha in the back of Jacob Blake sparked those protests. 16 shots less than an hour in Chicago. A racist judicial system around the world. These stories are truly horrific, but we must not allow them to scare us into submission. We must lean into the anger and use it to propel forward. We have seen that only when we force a situation by putting intense pressure on the systems do we see justice. So we need to be out here in bigger and bigger numbers. We need to be clear about what we are fighting for. We need to remember the names of who we are fighting for. And we need to come together, develop tactics that work, and truly put an end to this system so that we can see justice. What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
And if we don't get it,
Shut down!
if we don't get it,
Shut down!
if we don't get it,
Shut down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
thank you. If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 if we don't get it.
Shut it down!
All right, next we got Jay Becker from Refuse Fascism. Make some noise, make some noise.
Thank you. We are here tonight, as the previous speaker said, in solidarity with Jacob Blake and his family, in solidarity with the families of Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum. True heroes. They are heroes. They put their lives on the line to protect their fellow protesters from a racist, white supremacist vigilante. And we're also here in solidarity with all of the beautiful uprising of the summer of 2020, of which Kenosha was one part. And that uprising was what put Donald Trump in his bunker and helped to undo his presidency. And there's a deep lesson for us there. That is where the power of the people lies. We bought a brief moment here with Trump's defeat at the polls. But it means nothing if we don't use it to actually mobilize to stop fascism that is regrouping and coming back with a vengeance. We have more than 24 states that are right now putting in place legislation to nullify elections. Okay? Nullify elections. We have vigilantes. Today's verdict was a green light to armed white supremacist vigilantes that are across the country. This is not only Texas. We were out here a month ago to protest SB 8. I think all of us were here, right? A woman's right to abortion is inviolable. And right now, vigilantes are legalized in Texas to go after a woman's right to control a person's right to control when and if we have children. And without that, we are not free. And that is the future that this movement has in store for us if we do not stop it in our millions, all of us. You know, the media is talking about, well, you weren't at the trial, you don't know what the jury knew. We actually know more than what the jury knew, okay? We know that Kyle Rittenhouse was in touch with Proud Boys before he went out on the streets on August 25th and brutally murdered Anthony and Jojo. We know that he celebrated with the Proud Boys and other neo-Nazis afterwards. We know his defense was funded to the multi-millions by Second Amendment gun nuts and Koch brother type fascists. big fascists, okay? This is not just Kyle, the little guy from Antioch. He is a part of a whole fascist movement that is gaining ground around the country, and it will not stop until we recognize it and take matters into our own hands, non-violently refusing to accept a fascist America. That's why I'm really glad and supportive of the people who called this protest tonight. It's so important. We will be out here tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and I hope people who couldn't make it or are just hearing about this now join us here tomorrow at 2 o'clock as well, because people have said no justice, no peace, no fascist police state. Thank you.
Alright, I'm going to say something and I want you guys to reply, shut them down. Cool? This racist system! Shut it down! The FOP! Shut it down! The Proud Boys! Shut it down! The Proud Boys! Shut it down! This racist system! Shut it down! The FOP! Shut it down! This capitalist system! Shut it down! This racist system! Shut it down! The prison system! Shut it down! The prison system! Shut it down! This racist system! Shut it down! The FOP! Shut it down! Make some noise! First International, make some noise.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No racist.
Police.
Today, my name is Elder Minister Joseph Pugley. For the press that's out here, it's spelled JOSEPHPUGHSLEY. Now, we all know that humanity is supposed to be first, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, Judge Bruce E. Shorter says otherwise. I say that because this judge, supports this fascist system that allowed Kyle Rittenhouse to go free today. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Now, I believe the Bible says the wicked struck when the violence of man is promoted. Judge Schroeder fits that category. He has no shame, and this justice system has no shame on acquitting fascist Nazi killers. I think it's time for us to stand for liberation and dedication like never before. I said before, when Donald Trump was in office, I said it will not end. I made that clear. Well, look where we at today. It ain't end. It ain't going to end no time soon unless we stand for the people and for liberation. It's proving that the system must change. Amen. The system must change. We need to bring more equal rights into the White House and into the State House. We need equalship, not just for whites, but we want equalship for colors as well. Because if I want to commit that crime, you best believe I'll be under the jail. So what I'm saying is, we need to let Bruce Schroeder know, we need to let the state of Wisconsin, the White House know that we will not stand for this no more. We're going to fight until we die. Because Joseph and what's the other brother's name, and Anthony, they fought for righteousness. And unfortunately, they got gunned down. And they didn't get the justice that they deserve. So we got to fight, and we got to stand for liberation. Thank you, and God bless.
Make some noise. Alright, I got a final few words out here. We are going to march in just a moment, and when we start marching, I want you guys to get behind these banners. We'll lead the way. But before that, I'd like to close out by saying that it's very important to know your enemy. And that enemy, that system that we struggle against, we can't just keep calling it a system without giving it a name. We have to define our enemy. And that enemy, everyone, is capitalism. The very police institution, what that police institution protects, it protects capitalism. What that very judiciary system is set up to protect, everything from the municipal courts all the way to the Supreme Court, that is a system of capitalism. It's the capitalist power, and we have to call our enemy, we have to know our enemy, and we have to know how to struggle against our enemy. And that pathway to defeating that enemy is socialism. Now, Now, well, we all saw what happened last year, right? What happened was an election happened, and that movement that we had in the streets, where we were marching, thousands, millions of us in the streets, demanding justice, making changes. It kind of up down, didn't it? We cannot let that happen again. Change comes from movement. Change comes from millions marching in the streets. Because you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of noticing. There's a Democratic president, there's a Democratic House, there's a Democratic Senate. The mayor of Kenosha was a Democrat, and look where we are today, huh? The Democrats will not save us. The Republican Party, hell no, they won't save us. We will save us. The movement will save us. An organized, planned, disciplined movement will save us. So, do not give in to these fascist fear tactics. Do not give in to the state and their armed thugs, the FOP. They're all here to stop us because you know what? They might be having their hands on the trigger, but they are more afraid of us than we are of them. Because you know what? I'm not afraid of them, and I refuse to give in to their fear tactics. Right? So, we have to stay in the streets. We have to keep moving. We have to keep making demands. You know, next time you see a protest, bring a friend. Because the more of us there are, the more afraid the system gets, and then they have to budge. That's how change comes. Change isn't made at the ballot box. Change is made with people in the streets. The people united will never be defeated. 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 All right, we're gonna march, yo. Get behind the banners.
The people united will never be defeated. 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 We're taking to the streets. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
No justice!
No peace!
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 What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
The people want it!
people's verdict, guilty. Rittenhouse, guilty. The 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 people's verdict, guilty. No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. Cops, no KKK, no fascist USA. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 Say. Rittenhouse, guilty. The people's verdict, guilty. 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 Guilty. The people's verdict, guilty. Rittenhouse, 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 guilty. The people's verdict, guilty. The people united will never be defeated. 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 The whole system is guilty as hell. They send these specialists to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these specialists to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, Justice for JoJo Rosenbaum. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Hey, Nick, where we going?
House to jail.
Nick, where we
The
going?
whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Said, what do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want? let's get on the sidewalk, people. We can keep going up the street in future. Get on the sidewalk, we'll get back in the streets. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Indict, convict, send Rittenhouse to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Nobody comes through. Nobody comes through. Everybody's got to go to water.
No peace! 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 No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice! No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
that have been identified secure the perimeter of the central business district will immediately proceed to the designated locations. The citywide channel for this drill is citywide 6. Upon arrival, all units will check in using the post number on citywide 6 and the telephone association.
We shut it down. You shut it down. Our street. Our street. Our street. Lock him up! Lock him up! Rittenhouse! Rittenhouse! Injustice today. Are you down with that?
No!
Are you gonna stand around?
I'm getting way down.
On the streets, or are you gonna fight back? We gotta keep this movement going. And that means we can't be intimidated. And Kyle Rittenhouse by the Proud Boys. And the people something. They're the FOP. Because you know what? The people united
Will never be defeated.
The people united
Will never be defeated.
The people united
Will never be defeated.
The people
Will never be defeated.
Are you down with that system?
No!
Are you down with that system?
No!
Are you gonna fight back?
Yes!
Are you gonna fight back against the police system?
Yes!
Are you gonna fight back against the prison system?
Yes!
Are you gonna fight back against the capitalist system?
Yes!
So, the people united
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The people
United will never be defeated.
The people
United will never be defeated.
The people
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
And you know what? When the people are united, that means the mic is yours too. So it doesn't just have to be us talking. Anyone feels some type of way, get up here and grab it. You know, it's all yours. We're happy to share. What kind of socialist would you be? We're not willing to give someone a fair share of their slice. Am I right? I can do it all night. Y'all don't have to worry about me.
I left my voice in Wisconsin.
I'll keep going until someone else comes back. But as we see, we're approaching a year of a Democratic presidency, a year of a Democratic House, a year of a Democratic Senate. Do you guys feel change?
No.
Do you guys feel change?
No.
Do you guys think we're building back better?
No.
It's a system that's built on our own exploitation, trying to pull us out of our exploitation.
No.
It's a system that's built on our own oppression, trying to pull us out of that oppression.
No.
Can the cops be reformed?
No.
Can the Catholics be reformed?
No.
Can the Democratic Party be reformed?
No.
So, what do we gotta do, right? You gotta bring siblings, you gotta bring dad, mom, rock, but you know what? Only the people united can we demand and create music. It's not just about making demands and then going out. It's about making demands and carrying them through. You know what? What was that demand we all had last summer? Defund the police, right? Do those guys look defunded? Because last time I checked, they had more money to kill us, they had more weapons to kill us, they sure got more prisons to lock us up. So, not only do we have to make those demands, we gotta carry them through. And do you think the current political apparatus is gonna help us create those demands and make them a reality? No. What creates change is a mass movement. That's why we gotta bring people out here. Because thousands of us in the street, millions of the street, we gotta keep staying in the street until those demands are met. Because you know what? Next year, the Democratic Party's gonna come along again. You know what? They'll be in their emails, they'll be out here, and they'll be like, make a donation, or come vote. And you know what? That's not gonna take you real far because they're in control right now, and I think things are getting worse. So we have to keep our movement straight. Peacefully. We cannot go
Hey guys, we gotta make a full
the people united.
these guys.
The people
United will never be defeated.
The people
United will never be defeated.
Let's go over that.
I'll take it.
You just pull the trigger.
Okay. Long time listener, first time caller. So I logged on to twitter.com today to read the reaction. And, it was basically a bunch of like-minded people like us who were not surprised and not shocked, and that's why we're out here tonight. But I want to talk about the people that are commenting about how shocked they are and how surprised they are and how this is not America. Breaking news, this is America. This is exactly what the country was built on. It was built by colonizers, genocide, and slavery. And our current justice system and our system built under capitalism is living proof of that. So, tell your friends to come out to marches and talk to your friends who were shocked and surprised by this. Sit them down, explain the history of the country, give them some literature, give them some theory, and have that hard discussion about why this is not surprising and why we need them to get over their cute little shock and join the movement. That's all.
Alright, so I just want to ask, do Black lives still matter?
Yes!
Okay, because Because we were out here in the summer of 2020 shouting Black Lives Matter. Now I know that in like all this Rittenhouse stuff, it might be hard to see the dynamics of race and white supremacy. But let's think for a moment if this was Laquan Rittenhouse, who's out here going through protests, shooting people up. What kind of verdict would we have gotten today? There would have been a guilty verdict. He would have been put under the jail. Okay? So all I'm saying is, let's keep that same energy, Chicago. The energy that we had in the summer of 2020, in May and June of 2020, let's keep that same energy. Let's keep that same energy tomorrow. If you come out here tomorrow, keep that same energy, okay? That's all I gotta say.
So a lot has been made about this judge, and for good reason. But you don't think that Judge Schroeder would give a black man a fair trial? No, absolutely not. But here's the thing. It's not just Judge Schroeder. We know this because across the country, black people are incarcerated at 5.9 times the rate of white people. We know black men spend 20% more time in prison than white men for the same crimes. So this isn't just Wisconsin, it's the whole damn country. These courts are filled with Judge Schroeders. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that there's not a single fair court in this whole damn country. And that means that our struggle isn't just against one judge, it's not just against one situation, it's against this whole white supremacist capitalist system. And when I say system, I mean the whole damn thing. Not just the courts or policing or prisons, the whole government and system of production. Did y'all hear what Joe Biden said about the verdict? He said the jury system works. The jury system works. For who? Does it work for black people? No. Does it work for the protesters facing protesters? No. Does it work for the families of Anthony Huber from Joseph Rosenbaum? No. And does it work for the family of Ahmaud Arbery? Police station court, and against court, even as the judge himself said that the defense of these white supremacist vigilantes were stacking the court in favor of them. No, it works for people like Kyle Rittenhouse, or the Capitol Hill fascists, who are barely facing charge just despite the cruelty. It works for white men with power and wealth like Joe Biden. It does not work for us, the working class. We can't be free until we build a system that destroys white supremacy, that abolishes police, that destroys the culture that taught Kyle Rittenhouse to be a white supremacist from the day of his birth. There are a lot of people who say the Rittenhouse verdict is a defeat. And I get it. Certainly a setback in the struggle. But there's one thing we've seen in the past decade. When Trayvon Martin was murdered by Gordon Zimmerman, another white supremacist vigilante, people didn't know what to do. We witnessed the murder in Ferguson. We saw activists and a fly-in from all around the country just for a chance to have a movement. In 2020, things have been built up to the point where when George Floyd was murdered, the entire country erupted. That didn't come from nowhere. That came from struggle. It came from organizing. We can defeat this white supremacist capitalist system. But it's only going to happen if we get together, if we're organized, if we struggle. Thank you.
Alright, we're gonna have one quick thing and we're gonna march back to Federal Plaza.
Shalom Aleichem. Peace and blessings to the world. And those that stand in their prayer. My voice is gone right now. But I gotta tell you, there's one life that I thought about all day. One life that encompasses every single murder that has happened in this disgusting system. Emmett Till. Emmett Till is symbolic to this disgusting system. He was murdered and his killer is still free. The same murderer was protected by white supremacy. Very right. 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 The same system protected that killer. Right now. So I want you to understand from a minority perspective. We've been murdered for 400 years. We've been victimized, terrorized, treated less than animals. And say we don't matter. So it's good to march these streets today. What about next week? What about next month? This can't be only one day. We got to take these damn streets. We got to shut down these streets. We got to put out any bit of supporters of Proud Boys down. We got to take back the names that have been murdered and lift them up. And not just allow them to be hashtags, but keep saying their names. Say their names. Which one? 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 Make some noise!
Guilty as hell!
shut down? Who shut shut down? Who shut shut down? Who shut shut down? Holster! 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 Rittenhouse! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! 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 Rittenhouse! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! 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 The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! 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 Rittenhouse! 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 Lock him up! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! Rittenhouse! Rittenhouse! Lock him up! 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 The people united will never be defeated! 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 Will never be defeated! Will never be defeated! The people united 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 will never be defeated! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send Rittenhouse is guilty as hell.
Make some noise! Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I just want to point out that Joseph and Anthony are not the only victims of vigilante terror. Ahmed Arbery, Trayvon Martin are also victims of vigilante terror.
That's right.
And that's not the only time. This is not the only time that we've seen the state support vigilantes in their terrorism and their racism.
Yeah.
And they do this to oppress us, to divide the working class, because they're afraid of people power. And they do it right to be afraid, because we are going to defeat them. We're going to defeat bigotry. We're going to defeat racism. So thank you for coming out tonight. Hope safe for everyone. The people, united, will never be defeated.
All right, guys. Hello. My voice is a little calm. But we're doing a worldwide rally Sunday at 2 p.m. We're starting in Kenosha, but we're asking everyone to do it Sunday at 2 p.m. Come to Federal Plaza. My voice is in Wisconsin, where I just come from. But that's where my voice is. But I'm still here with you guys where I am from, Chicago. So I just wanted to get everybody's attention and bring one person with you. Sunday, 2 p.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. And Saturday. We're doing it Saturday and Sunday. Saturday. Also, it's going to be one tomorrow, which is Saturday here at 2 p.m. But the Blake family asked me to tell Chicago from Wisconsin that Sunday we're doing a worldwide protest, 2 p.m. But also tomorrow here, 2 p.m. there'll be one. But don't forget Sunday is really important also. We're doing this worldwide so they know we are saying this every state, every city. No more.
That's our one last announcement. The protest tomorrow is at 12. The fascists are coming to Chicago. The Proud Boys and their fascist sympathizers and enablers are coming to Michigan and Monroe tomorrow at 12. And we're going to be out there to oppose them in big numbers. Come out there at 12. Join the people's movement against fascism. This ruling emboldens the fascists. We need to show them that we are not afraid. We're going to fight back in the streets using our voices and say no more to fascist vigilante violence. Down with fascism. Up with people power. Build the united front against fascism. Let's go.